you know who God is? And he goes, yeah, he controls the weather. Jesus.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't. I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
Right. Freeze! Get on the ground! And like two cops have guns pointed
Baltimore
on me.
PD.
Why is this motherfucker laughing? What did I say that's so fucking funny?
Welcome to your mom's house.
This episode of Your Mom's House is brought to you by Sattva. I am thinking about mixing it up, maybe trying a new Sattva myself. So I might meet you in the checkout line when you go to Sattva, SAATVA.com/the-shit, where you get $200 off any mattress of your choice. I like trying all their products. I'm serious. Been doing it for over a decade, and I've never slept better. I love it. I love the luxury firm mattress. I might go back to a Lumen Leaf. I might put it on rotation. Lumen Leaf is their memory foam line, and it's not what you think. I always thought memory foam was just something that you just kind of sink into and is super soft. It like molds to your body. It's incredible. I can't recommend their stuff enough. Environmentally friendly, great customer support, mattress takeaway service, which I think is incredible. Go to Sattva, SAATVA.com/the-shit. Get $200 off any mattress of your choice. Welcome to the hardest hitting news podcast on the internet. Where interest rates go up, we're going to explore all the places your money should be, maybe muni bonds. What's going on in the Ukraine? Welcome to Your Mom's House. You may have noticed that my usual co-host is no longer here. She decided to play chicken with a semi, and she lost. Let's take a moment of silence. The show must go on. So, sitting in permanently for Christina P is my good buddy, the full charge, Matt Fulchiron. Thanks for coming.
Welcome to your Charge's house.
The Charge's house. You can check out Matt's podcast, The Power of How, everywhere that you can listen to a podcast.
That's true.
Thanks for coming, buddy.
My pleasure.
How is it in you're in New York, right?
I'm in New York, yeah.
How's New York City right now?
It's pretty good.
Cold?
It's pretty cold.
Yeah.
And just living that 2-bedroom apartment life. Newlywed. Wedded up.
Wedded up.
You know?
Congratulations.
A lot of people think 48 is too young to get married.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're like, fuck them.
Yeah, I'm taking the chance.
I'm glad. I'm happy for you. I've met your lovely wife now.
Yes.
A number of times. They're asking you to pull that a little bit closer to you, your mic.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, you know, I've met other ladies with Matt Fulchiron over the years. I've met some of your girlfriends, but I think you picked the right one, man.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
She's a total sweetheart.
Yep.
Totally got my back.
Mm-hmm. That's important.
Totally in love with me. I'm in love with her. I wake up in the morning and sometimes she's staring at me.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then when I wake up, she goes, jackpot. Like she won the lottery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't. I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
Right. I'm starting to think a semi-truck wasn't involved in this scenario.
By semi-truck, I meant 2x4. Now, Jesus, man, that's wild. That's like super, super lovely of you guys.
Yeah. We got married twice now.
Twice.
So, and it was very controversial.
Why?
I got married twice because the family, her family, is very Catholic.
Nice.
And then also, I guess we didn't want to subject everybody to that as well. We also had a wedding in Santa Barbara.
Where you didn't subject people to that.
To Catholicism.
I remember.
I was highly subjected to it.
I was, I got married in 1971. But I remember that, you know, my parents both were hard. Well, my dad's gone, but they were very Catholic.
Yeah.
Very Catholic. My mom still is. Still like goes to mass during the week in addition to Sunday mass, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Prays the rosary all the time.
Right.
And we got married at a beach location.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, just casually. I mean, I was much younger.
Yeah.
I was like, I think we're gonna do a beach wedding.
Right.
And my mom was like, what? And I was like, yeah, there's a beautiful beach there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get married on the beach.
Yeah.
And she goes, you have to be joking. And I'm like, I am not actually. And then my dad pulled me aside. He's like, buddy, you can't do that. And I
Right.
was like, really? He goes, please. I think he was like saying please for him.
That's exactly
You know?
what it is, because he's going to have to hear about it
Forever,
every day.
yeah.
And then every day after, and probably day of too.
So I was like, all right. And then, I found like, there's like one, there happened to be one Catholic church. I mean, the only one on this island, like
Yeah.
any like, and then, did it there. And I was like, cool. Didn't want to, but thank
Right.
you. But yours was probably more involved.
Well, it was very involved.
Were you
and
raised Catholic?
I was raised Catholic, and I was very Catholic growing up, and got out of it kind of late compared to a lot of people.
Were you
I think.
into it?
I was very into it. I was
were.
very, I wasn't like excited to go to church,
Yeah.
but it was in my thoughts all the time.
Yeah, me too.
And I actually thought there was someone listening to my thoughts.
Oh, I thought God
named
was
Jesus.
God was watching,
And to the point where, like, I was told, I went to Catholic school.
same.
So you're learning math, science, history, religion. So it
Yeah.
just seems like also fact.
Yeah.
And so I remember around, I think it was after I got laid when I was 18,
Mm-hmm.
I had to justify that I was like, well, I guess I'm going to hell for eternity.
Oh yeah.
And then I slowly kind of just drifted apart from it. You talk to other Catholics,
Yeah.
and they start introducing you to loopholes.
Sure.
Like, well, and I can't even remember what it was, but there's always technicalities if you're a Catholic. There's always like, well, Jesus knew Mary Magdalene and blah, blah, blah. I forget exactly what it was, but and then I stopped going to church. And the next thing I knew, I could listen to Slayer with no regret.
Well, there's this other major loophole with priests and young boys where they
Yes.
actually just move them to another parish.
Right. You
pretty
start learning all that stuff.
Yeah.
You start learning that they're like the pro-life movement,
Yeah.
which I'm not cool with.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, it's that's their opinion. It's like, no, they're the ones pushing all this shit.
Yeah.
And, raising people to think like this.
You know what the one that fucking threw me for a loop so hard was you talk to any teacher, biologist, like rational adult,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, yeah, masturbation is part of like life. Like,
Right.
when you hit puberty, it's something you're going to do.
Yeah.
And then in the Catholic Church, you're supposed to you're supposed to say it in confession.
Yeah.
So you'd be in confession with like some strange guy and be like, I am, I think the actual, like the old school Catholic term is that I was impure with myself.
Right. That's
And
a
then
nice
you
way
say that to some guy who's like, how many times? And you're like, a lot.
And you're just talking to a man in a closet in the dark,
Yeah.
and he can actually see you through that.
Yeah.
That opaque
Can I tell you
piece
the
of
truth
paper.
that
What?
one time for real, it did kind of traumatize me.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure he was getting off on it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. It really threw me.
Yeah. No, that's too much, especially for a kid. Luckily, you had a wall between you. Not
Yeah.
everybody gets
But
that.
I remember being there. I was on my knees, because you're in like,
yeah.
and I remember just hearing the way he was speaking and like breathing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm doing it, I just remember like, when you know something's wrong.
Yes.
Like I was like, what? And then he's just, gives you your 10 Our Fathers. And I remember walking out of there like, what the fuck? That's not supposed to go like that. Like,
Did you tell anybody? Because you didn't really know what happened exactly.
I mean, I wasn't like 8. I was a teen,
yeah.
but I was still in the like church, like,
Right.
and I just remember I did say something. Of course, it was like dismissed as like, oh, you probably thought you were hearing something.
As it is, people are not willing to
Go
deal
you
with
there.
that because it ruins their faith that they're heavily invested in.
Yeah.
You know, and And that's part of the reason I didn't want to get married Catholic, because I felt like everybody, if someone like me who's not Catholic and doesn't really like where the Catholic Church has gone is willing to cave in and go along just to say the words and just to be up there, then I'm like, who's going to stand up for the victims? And it got really ironic because like, that's why they killed Jesus, because he wouldn't just say the words. He wouldn't just say, no, I'm not the Son of God. They're like, dude, we're giving you a chance. We're not going to crucify you.
Yeah.
If you just say you're not the Son of the God. He's like, no, I'm the Son of God.
Yeah.
And it got down to that thing, just saying the words. And my in-laws were working on me as soon as I showed up. So my father-in-law, who's no longer with us, I went to visit him in the hospital and we're talking, chat, and it's the first time I ever met him. And he goes, so Kristen tells me you're Catholic, right? And I was like, I looked at him, I'm like, what? What? Me? No, what? You know what I mean? Like I had like a real reaction to it. And he starts telling me, you are going to want to start getting into Catholicism. You're going to want to start to become a Catholic. And I was like, all right. I just went along at that point.
Well, yeah, you're talking to a guy in the hospital. Too.
I just like that's fine as far as this conversation is concerned. Sure. All right. You're suggesting that it might help me. Who am I to say that, it could help me? Who knows? And then when we're getting married, it's all of a sudden, and her family, they're from Louisiana. They're very much involved in all of each other's lives, which I'm not used to. Like my parents don't even know my middle name. You know what I mean? Like they're just not, it's like, I got to come to them and start the conversation about something before they're allowed to comment on my life. Mm-hmm. Right. But so I told my sisters-in-laws that I was going to propose to my wife. This is in February of 2020, right before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm going to propose to my wife, or my fiance, or my girlfriend at the time. And they're like, cool. Here's the instructions. It was like, we're going to fly to New York and we're going to be there for the after party. And that's not enough time. I told them I was going to do it in a week. And they're like, that's not enough time. We need to plan a week and we need to be there. And so on a day when my wife is expecting a proposal, it was like the anniversary of our first date.
Yeah.
We go out and we have the special night of the first date and no proposal. And, she's just kind of thinking like, what's going on? What is this? Because it was the time. And they even asked me to wait. And I go, hold on a second. I'm like, I got her birthday coming up. I got our first date anniversary coming up. And I got a vacation coming up. And there's no way I'm doing that without a proposal. Yeah. All those things. So it's going to happen. And I actually bumped up the proposal date so that they could make it out. And the only reason I bring that up is because now it's like, okay, now it's time to start talking to Father Joe. And I'm like, oh shit. Like I'm really going to have to do this. Yeah. I'm going to have to go talk to this priest, and because I'm familiar with this. They told us about this. Like you have to talk to a priest before you can get married. Yeah. And I start like really freaking out. Sure. I'm like, I got to go talk to this priest. I've got it in my head that like, I hate the Catholic institution. Sure. And I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to stand up there and do this. And I'm really freaking out. The upside of it is it got me into therapy, which I desperately needed to get into. Because it is a thing. Like, are you going to be that asshole that says to the family, no, I'm not doing this, but I'm still getting married. See you at Christmas. Yeah. Like, can you really pull that off? And I came to the conclusion that no, I couldn't pull that off, but I still. So do you feel like though that what you do or what you've done and continue to is just go through the motions just to keep people? No, I had to go to this therapist first. And he really just kind of talked me into it. I don't remember what he said, but I remember I was like, all right, I'm willing to do this. And then we went and met with this guy, and we had to watch this video, and it was honestly like a bunch of priests. There was one video where the priest was going, hey, I mean, only like 10% of the Catholic, the priests have molested children. Like, what's the big deal? It's like, it was basically like, get over it. Like, just kind of get over it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but like, you guys aren't the guys to say that. Like,
Right.
like we have to
Sure.
come up with that. And then there was this questionnaire. I was feeling like particularly rebellious that day. And it was like, do you watch pornography? Yes. Is there anything wrong with homosexuality? No. How often do you watch pornography? Every day. Like I was just on a tear. Like almost passive aggressively, like, yeah. Let me get married in the Catholic Church now.
Yeah.
Will you pray about anything? No. And that's probably a lie. I'll probably pray
Sure.
at certain points. So I went and I did it, and it was actually great because when this wasn't being pitched as our real wedding.
Right.
This was kind of please the family, particularly my mother-in-law, and then we'll have the big celebration in Santa Barbara with another ceremony. But I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would because I was like, that moment where you become legal, that is like the big moment for me. And so I got through that, and it was like very joyous, and I loved signing my name on whatever the hell I signed my name on. And the only thing I didn't like is the priest was like, do you promise to raise your children Catholic? And I was like, yes. Like full knowing that there's no way. Even if my wife raises the kids, I'm still gonna be like, hey, this isn't necessarily true. Like they don't know this for a fact. It might help you through life, but like this is just like a philosophy.
Sure.
It's not like science.
It's far from science.
Yes. And
I asked my son, I was like, do you I didn't know what he thinks yet. So I go, hey, you know who God is? And he goes, yeah. And I go, who is he? He goes, he controls the weather. And I was like, it's a good answer.
That is so funny, dude, because I asked my dad, who during this whole fiasco, he called me, he goes, yeah, I don't believe in 90% of it. He goes, I just go there for my peace and quiet. And I'm like, oh, dude, you could have told me this,
Isn't that great when they could have told you stuff?
Yeah. Because, and then it all makes sense. And that I had a similar, I asked him, I go, hey, when it's raining, is that just like God holding his hands out like this? And my dad goes, I don't know. Like he had like no answer.
Yeah.
That was like a clue right then and there.
Yeah.
But like he didn't like really help me. So all the shit I have with Catholicism was not what I learned from my parents. It was the Catholic school that really like bugged me out and made me a little nutty.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it just, it kind of instilled that anxiety and fear that, a lot of things that are, look, a lot of it's like, I think sexually related, right? That they're like.
Yes, a lot of it.
There's a lot of like shame and like things become, you get repressed and you get a guilt complex over not even like, sexual acts, but just the normal things that are happening biologically inside of you. And you kind of go like, I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm having these thoughts. I just looked at a girl and I got excited. I'm a bad person,
and they told me like even thinking about it is a sin.
Yes.
And it's like, what the fuck? Have you ever tried to not think about something?
Yeah.
All you can see is a pair of tits.
Yeah.
And I didn't even, this is a huge Your Mom's House exclusive.
Okay.
I didn't even jerk off until I was like 18.
What?
Not a once. I actually had like wet dreams to get it out.
Really?
Because I was like that scared of it.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then.
They really got to you.
Oh yeah. And I thought like, it was weird. It was a weird thing. I thought like only gay people jerked off, which was a sin. And then, but I also think there weren't even really gay people.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was just something you called your friends when you were making fun of them.
Tier 1 masturbator. I was jerking off so young.
Yeah.
And I also wanted comfort one time, and I just walked up and I had done it in the shower. And I don't know. I just wanted to be told that's normal or whatever. So I go up to my dad and I'm trying to say it, know, but I'm too scared to say it directly.
Right. Impure.
So I go, I still remember, I was in the shower and I was, I was like washing myself and he's like, yeah. And I go, and then I was washing like my private area and then like all this stuff came out and I'm just like, I'm saying it like a kid so that he'll kinda, and he goes, next time don't wash there so long.
And use conditioner.
And then he just kind of rushed away. Yeah, I was like, oh, so I did do something wrong.
Right. It's so strange.
And I also asked him, I go, did you ever masturbate? And he goes, one time. When I was 16. And I was like, seriously? He's like, I mean, obviously I get that he's trying to be like, I don't know, don't do that. But it would have been cool to be like, yeah, it's a normal thing that healthy teenagers.
Yeah,
like,
I think in my generation, it's like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to bullshit you until you figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, because and I don't blame him for not feeling comfortable.
I don't either. I mean, he could, all he should have done is been like, don't do it outside while you're looking at a girl at the park.
Yeah.
But like, don't do it at the mall.
Yeah.
But in your room is fine,
And I'm just thinking it's so weird for him to find out that you were going to end up making a lot of money talking about it.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to talk about it.
He didn't want to talk about it at all. And maybe that's why I talk about it so much. All right, we didn't even do our opening clip, so I got to play for you. So here we go. I guess we'll play, Is This Guy Catholic?
Have some fucking respect.
Get the fuck out of my car, bro. Have respect for people's cars. Get the fuck out of here.
You need to have respect for people.
Dog, you can't be doing this shit.
You can't be fucking blocking traffic and smoking weed while people are
Ain't
trying
no
to go
one
shopping.
smoking, bro. We're not smoking. We're really parked. We're really parked sitting there, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
What are you gonna do if I don't?
Bro, you're literally...
What are you gonna do if I don't?
Get out of here, dog.
What am I gonna do?
You don't want to start this shit. Get out of here.
What am I gonna do to you?
Get out of here. What are you gonna do to me? You're not
Yeah.
gonna do nothing, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
You look like my father. I love you.
Get out of here, dog.
Good, I'm glad.
Get out of
Your
here.
fucking pupils are as big as your eyeballs.
Dude.
Why you bugging, dog?
You guys need to go sober up.
Hey, dude, hey,
You need to be respectful.
Hey, dude, nah, let's be cool, bro. Come
No.
on.
Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Welcome to your mom's house with Tom Segura. And
Christina P.
to your mom's house.
Wild. That's a real confrontation there.
I'd say definitely Catholic.
Catholic, yeah. Felt Catholic. Sassy kid, though. Sassy kid. I mean, guy is really aggressive, obviously. Leaning into someone's car is some wild shit. Like, I don't care who it is and what age they are. It's a bold, you don't know what's going to happen to you if you put your face in someone's car.
Well, I mean, let's start with the kid could just drive off.
Oh, so many bad things could happen. He could also be leaning into like the car of a kid who fucking, I don't know, is like, goes to boxing class every day or something. You know what I mean? Like you could just, you could be a kid with a gun. It could be anything. You're just nuts.
There's two of them. Let's start with that. They're in a car.
At least two. There might be someone else in the back, like, yeah.
I just couldn't handle a confrontation that long.
I know it's so
I'm like, if I even said, hey, you got to move your car,
Yeah.
I'd be talking about it the rest of the day.
Man. And
My
also
heartbeat
like,
would be up.
It's a real, you can tell who, like, what a smart ass. I remember like when you're just so amazed at what a smart ass you or one of your friends can be at that age to say,
You look like my father. I love you.
like that is like, it's actually brazen,
Yeah.
like, cause you don't know if what that is like, it's a really condescending thing to say to a grown man. And you don't know if, from the kid's point, if that's what makes him just like launch into the car,
You don't understand adults as a kid.
Yeah, you really
don't
don't.
understand how much fucking trauma and just Vietnam flashbacks are in the back of that head.
You don't know the relationship that man has with his father.
Yeah,
And
right.
like when you say that shit,
Yeah.
the whole thing is just so exciting.
And I also think like everybody's on adrenaline and everyone's saying weird things like that. You look like my father. I love you.
Yeah.
That's like a weird thing to say. And then when he says, what am I going to do to you?
Yeah.
That's a weird thing too.
Right, because
And
he's
then
actually so amped up. He actually wanted to say, "What are you going to do to me?"
Right.
But it's his adrenaline and the emotions of the moment that actually flip
Yeah.
that on him. You know?
Yeah, he's like 200 over 120.
Yeah.
blood pressure wise
Oh,
right
it's going-
now.
it's going wild.
He's going buck wild. He doesn't look like he has a good diet to begin with. This guy.
No, he really just kind of looks like me. Guy's a mess.
But then the balls on the kids, even though they have all that going for them, to like talk that much shit, and they're in a fuck position because he's telling them to move the car, right?
He's telling them you're blocking traffic. Like you can't be sitting here smoking weed, blocking traffic. That's what I heard. Here's like the
Bro,
Have
get the
some
fuck
fucking
outta here.
respect.
Get the fuck out of my car, bro. Have respect for people's cars. Get the fuck out of here.
You need to have respect for people.
Dog, you can't be doing this shit.
You can't be fucking
You
blocking
can't be
traffic
doing
and
this shit.
smoking weed while people are
Ain't
trying
no
to go
one smoking,
shopping.
bro.
yeah. So it's like he's saying that, and the kids like we parked here. I mean, he's out. They're probably obstructing. I don't know, cars in
Right.
some way.
So the kid's in a bad position because, like, in order to avoid the confrontation, he's got to drive away.
Yeah, yeah.
But he doesn't want to drive away because he wants to win the fucking fight.
Yeah.
And he's like thinking he's just going to wait it out.
Yeah.
He's in a bad position. I always notice too that like young people, as soon as they get in a fight, they get like really street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they're imitating something they saw on television.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
He's calling him dog and shit. Like he's like, get out of here, dog.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
That kid don't talk like that at home.
No, fuck no.
Please pass the potatoes. Thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah. There's no. Did you ever get into like confrontations like as a high school kid with a grown up? Like with an adult?
I know I had a really smart mouth.
Yeah.
And I would find myself
course you did.
in confrontations with teachers.
Yeah.
And I think and things snap into my head. And I'm like, I can't believe I ever said that. One time it blew up in my face when I was 14. I was in homeroom and there was like morning announcements, and this brother, he was actually a Catholic brother. What do you call it? A monk? And he was like,
or like a deacon or something.
something like that. I don't even know. My education was shit, apparently. But he did the end of the announcements. He's like, does anyone else have any announcements to make? And this pretty girl goes, ask him why his shirt is untucked. And I'm like, yeah, I have an announcement. Why is your shirt untucked? And everyone's like, bah! Because we weren't allowed to wear our shirts untucked. But it was really just his pocket hanging out of his sweater. And he goes, my shirt is tucked in. It's a pocket. And he walked up to me in front of the whole class and grabbed me right here
by
my
skin?
neck.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're a law. He goes, can you prove that in a court of law?
What?
And he was like, what are we going to do with you? And he bitched me out for like 2 minutes, holding me by my neck like this. And this back in the day when you didn't go, Mom, the teacher did this. You'd be like, I hope my mom doesn't find out about this. I hope my mom doesn't find out that I said some smart shit.
Yeah.
You know?
That's intense, dude.
That is very intense.
You just made me fucking, my blood boil.
It was like Full Metal Jacket.
Fuck.
The Catholic years. Yeah.
That's super aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually doesn't feel like something from when you were a kid. That feels like something that from like when our parents were kids.
Exactly.
That's really crazy.
But I didn't really equate that. I was just like, I'm an asshole. I'm a smart mouth.
Yeah.
This is specific to me. And it was. I didn't see that anywhere else the next 4 years.
Yeah.
That was specific to me at that moment.
Yeah.
I humiliated that guy.
That's why he did it.
Yeah.
I mean, humiliation can
Right.
make people do
exactly.
really crazy things.
Yeah.
Did you burn your last piece of toast? Avocado gone bad? Hot sauce? Is the best bottle empty? Try grocery delivery from DoorDash. You'll get everything you want delivered when you need it, right to your door. You've trusted DoorDash to deliver your favorite restaurant stuff, and now you can get grocery delivery that actually delivers too. With thousands of grocery stores to choose from, you'll find the best in your neighborhood and boost your local economy with each and every order. You'll get exactly what you ordered, or we'll make it right. So sit back and enjoy quality groceries just like you picked them yourself. Want even more value? You can save on all your grocery and restaurant favorites with a $0 delivery fee on all eligible orders with a Dash Pass membership. Easy substitutions right in the app and best-in-class customer support, DoorDash delivers groceries exactly how you want it. Get 50% off your first DoorDash order up to a $20 value when you use code HOUSE at checkout. Limited time offer, terms apply. That's 50% off, up to $20, no minimum subtotal, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter the code HOUSE. Don't forget, that's code HOUSE for 50% off your first order with DoorDash. Yeah, I mean, I remember I got so much detention in 5th grade at a Catholic school for my mouth.
Yes.
Like I always had a comment, and they were like, no recess. And, and one time I remember it was like somebody, like we were in this class and I had made a comment and people laughed, made another comment, and she was like, I don't want to hear another word out of you. And I was like, all right. And then people were like doing presentation stuff, we're 10 years old. So somebody said something about their grandmother. I think they showed a photo of her, just like her sweet grandmother. I go, she's definitely dead, right? and she was like, no recess again. And it was like the 20th time.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it. I just keep getting, stuff like, but that is like kind of playful stuff. Mm-hmm. This is like this, and what you described is way more confrontational and way more on, it feels like both those things are on the verge of, or in your case, actually is violence. That is violence to grab your face like that. The one that I remember the most, it was so, it's so infuriating, this one to me, which was, there was a house party and I was in high school and I was at the party and it was in, I don't know, some kid's house that was like the street was on this level and then the lawn goes up from the street. Yeah. And then the house sat up here. Right? Okay. So it was like the house was like on a bit of a hill. I don't want to say like a big hill, but like where the lawn was elevated from the street. Mm-hmm. And so I had walked down from the house and stood at a car and I was standing there with a girl and somebody from the house threw a bottle that like flipped over and over and landed and almost hit a car that was driving. Yeah. Well, the guy got out of the car and could not get it out of his head that I didn't do that.
Right.
So he's like, you fucking threw a bottle at me? And I was like, no. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big kid, by the way, at this point. I'm like 18.
What are you looking like? What are you weighing?
I'm like my height, 250 pounds. And like, I'm playing football. Like I'm active kid, but I'm not like, whatever. I'm not flex. I'm like respectful. I go, I did not throw that bottle at you. And he doesn't buy it. And he's like, you out of your fucking mind doing that? I go, I didn't throw that bottle. That bottle came from up there. And he just won't buy it. So there's like a kid who lives, I think the kid who actually lives at the house comes down and he's like telling this kid, he goes, this guy threw the bottle at and I go, I did not throw the bottle at his car. And then the kid starts telling me, like, he's like, dude, and I go, I'll fuck you up if you think that I did that to him. Right, I go, that bottle came from your fucking house. I don't know who threw it, but I'm standing here minding my own business. And this thing just like kept going. God. And so like they're apologizing. He's telling me to apologize. I go, I'm not fucking apologizing for shit. I didn't do a fucking thing. Yeah. And it just kept escalating to the point where I actually feel like the end of this confrontation is wiped from my memory. I don't remember. Really? I don't know if I murdered the guy or like what ended up happening.
This is like an origin story for you.
Yeah, but it is one of those things where you go like, there was no out for, like, he just couldn't accept that the person that he saw first couldn't be the guy. And I just remember how infuriating it was.
He's like this guy. He needs you to be the guy.
He needs me to be the guy.
He needs you to be the guy so he can set his sights on you, so he has a fucking villain in his life. Yeah. Because this is nighttime, right? Because this guy had a shit day. Yeah. And now he's coming after you. Yeah, yeah. And you don't feel bad about it because you're big enough to defend yourself.
No, and he also was a small guy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But he was like, he knew I'm a kid.
Right.
And, and he's a grown, like he's a man. Yeah. And he's just giving me like the wildest like speech. Right. And I'm just like, dude, you can say this as much as you want. It's never going to happen. Like I didn't, What do you think? You think I'm just standing here throwing bottles at cars? Like,
There's a party up there.
yeah, that's
There's
where it
women
came
up
from.
there.
Yeah.
There's something similar, not exactly the same, but one time when I was first starting to make films, I lived in Baltimore and I was doing a scene. I was an actor and I had a gun pointed this is in downtown Baltimore, and I have a gun pointed at my friend, and you just hear, it's like, all right, action. And I'm like, give me the money. And then you just hear, freeze, get on the ground. And you look over, and like two cops have guns
It's
pointed
Baltimore
on me
PD.
with their fucking doors open. And they're like, drop the weapon. And I dropped the gun, get on the ground. And I got on the ground, no, inch away. I did everything they told me just because I'd seen cops so many times.
Yeah.
I was just like, and then they approached us like super emotional.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think cops would be that fucking emotional.
Yeah.
And it's Baltimore. You'd think they went through this every day.
Yeah.
And they find the gun and they're going, oh, it's a fake gun. It's a fake gun. It was almost like they were fake cops.
Sure.
Like they're like that movie Let's Be Cops.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're going to shoot somebody. They're like, oh, it's a fake gun. Oh, woo. We won the light skin lottery that day. You know what I mean? Because they called it in. They're like, yeah, they're shooting a movie on down at Fells Point, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Then we get to keep filming.
That's even crazy. And
Yeah.
do you know that a completely different but very similar thing happened to me in college? I'm in Hickory, North Carolina, which is the opposite end of the spectrum of Baltimore, Maryland.
Right.
It's a small town in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. It's about 45 minutes north of Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working, as I'm in school, I'm part-time at Granger. You know, like
What's Granger?
The industrial supply
Oh, okay.
place. Like
Cool.
people go and they need, I need a fucking this type of bolt. And I
Right.
need, like,
And you go,
and guys in the warehouse there have, a lot of them have like this is like, you know, I'm working there part-time as a college student. Two of the guys are brothers.
okay.
And not only black brothers, but actual blood
Right,
brothers.
right.
One of them is a fireman
Uh-huh.
on like as his other job.
Okay.
And the other one is a policeman.
Wow. So they play each
And-
other in basketball
and
too.
so-
Shit, that sounds racist. My bad.
Yeah. So
That's just the first thing my head goes to.
but-
Apologies.
So everybody in the warehouse, like we have the best, I don't know, just like the best working relation, like just like fun. These are all good guys, like really, like salt of the earth, great guys. We're all like
Right.
super friendly. We even do like some social things together. And I'm a college kid,
Right.
These guys are older than me, but they're just great guys. So I keep telling the police guy, I'm like, I want to shoot this thing, and I want him to be in it. and he's like, yeah, man, yeah. And I tell him that I want to shoot it after hours at this bank that's off the main highway, and I tell him what the scene is, and he's like, yeah, and whatever, just tell me when. So I picked this like, I think Saturday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I check with this dude a month out, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 1 week out.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's like, I'm not working Saturdays,
Uh-huh.
blah, blah, blah. The day before, and then it's like, yep. And then the day of, I'm like, we're going to shoot tonight.
Yeah.
Guess what he does? Doesn't answer.
Okay.
Doesn't answer, doesn't
Yeah.
text, doesn't whatever. Doesn't. So I'm like, God damn it, man. So I keep calling. I'm like hounding him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so like, what the fuck? I don't put together that he either doesn't want to do it or he's like with a girl, and you know, he's just. But instead of telling me I'm not going to do it, he just doesn't answer.
Yeah, that's standard amateur actor shit.
It's just, and
that's
it's
the move.
and it's like what you do in your, I don't know, in your 20s or something. You're just
Yeah.
like, I'm just not going to answer this thing that I don't want to do. So we go to the bank after hours to shoot this scene, and we have fake guns. And we're not in the bank.
Right.
We're at the drive-through ATM.
Sure, which is at the bank.
And we're having like confrontational stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And the guy pulls out the gun and like
Yeah.
same kind of thing as
Yeah.
you, right? Here's the difference between Baltimore PD and Hickory, North Carolina PD. This car, a police car pulls up, and the guy rolls down his window and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And I go, "We're just shooting this video." And he's like, "Is that a real gun?" And we're like, "No, it's a prop."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you supposed to be here?" And I was like, "I don't know. I talked to, Tony, you know him?" And he's like, "All right." And they just rolled up the window and he drove away.
I love.
Like I was like, all right, I guess we'll keep shooting.
I love how he just takes your word for it.
He completely took
Yeah.
my word for it.
No, this is salt. This isn't cocaine.
Yeah, no. This is we're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, you guys take
Right.
it easy. And
Yeah.
just rolled up his window and drove away.
You know, the internet is a disgusting place.
Yeah.
But it's taught us to be more cautious.
Yeah.
Because I always just thought the cops would know my intentions.
Yeah.
You know,
They do not.
they don't know your intentions.
No.
They have to go by what they see. And also, they can get into it pretty quickly, whether it
They
looks
sure-
like something or not.
Yeah.
You know, based on the internet footage I've seen.
Speaking of confrontations, I haven't seen this, but they gave me a Freakout here that I have not seen yet.
Okay.
So let's take a peek.
You don't know how to handle anybody. You don't know how to. Come on, bring it on. Fuck you, cunt. You started it, and I'm finishing it. And I don't care. You
what-
got yourself in a fucking sling. Now you can take that to your fucking boss above that dumbass.
Whoa.
And then get yourself in more trouble.
Does that person have a walker?
Mm-hmm.
Because he started fucking flipping off on me. He flipped out because he's having a bad day. And sucks to be his ass. Fuck you. And fuck you, cunt.
Okay.
This is awesome.
So that person did that.
That looks like it with their walker. So if you're listening, this appears to be a woman. Is that a woman?
I think I was going to ask the same thing. I think,
because they have on like a big jacket, a hoodie, a hat. But yeah, I mean, I believe this is a woman with a walker, like one of the wheelie ones, you know, that like kind of has like handbrakes that helps you, that assists you to walk. And it looks like we're in like kind of like a Best Buy type of store.
This
am I
is
right?
a medium moderate buy.
Furniture store.
A what?
Furniture store.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of like, I thought I see like TVs or something. There's something.
Appliances and stuff.
Appliance. Maybe there's a, like, you know, those paintings or like frame stuff for sale. But
The lighting isn't helping the environment.
the camera pans down and it looks like this person has destroyed everything that was on the counter, like monitors, paperwork, phone. Like it has completely destroyed it and is, is pretty confrontational.
Oh my God.
I mean, I wish I had seen her lean through the fucking window of the car with the kids. You little cunts. Yeah.
Especially since there's wheels on that walker. It'd just be kind of cool to see
You
what happened
imagine
if the
if
car
she's
took
like,
off.
hey, what are you doing in my car?
Fuck you, cunt.
Like,
Oh my
We like
God.
this game.
whoa. Wow. To her, yeah, it is. Whoa. I mean, for sure this person can get real jail time for assault.
Yeah, come on in, Bob.
Whoa. I mean, and like nearly elderly,
Yeah,
right?
bullshit, he's a fat fucking slob that needs help from his own self. Fucking dumbass.
Maybe not elderly. I think we,
Oh, bullshit, you haven't even hit yet. I'm working on it.
I mean, taking all kinds of shit and throwing it.
By the way, is there anything better being an employee? You're just getting paid like $7.50 an hour.
I know.
Someone's trashing your place and you just sit back and go, yeah, I'll
Right.
call it. No emotion whatsoever.
None. He's like,
you know, keep going. Wear yourself out.
Yeah. What would be the biggest rush of my life would be to be in this store right now because I would just be dialed in.
Mm-hmm. You've identified as this person before, though, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I will say that I actually went to a cell phone establishment today. And I went into it with like, I'm mentally preparing myself to have one of the 3 worst experiences of my life.
Yeah.
And wasn't that bad at all.
That's great.
I really got lucky.
I find life is like that.
Yeah.
If you just accept,
Yeah, you're like,
A, the worst case won't be so bad, and B, it's probably not going to be worst case.
no, it was
That's
like
beautiful.
The guy I worked with was super nice. The person that worked, like their coworker was nice.
Mm-hmm.
They were super helpful. They weren't like, no, you need to like call other people. Like always associate those types of visits with like, man, this is gonna be fucking just the worst.
Right. You're about to go on a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Of
and it
people you have to
actually-
call.
Yeah, it actually went. I think this keeps going, by the way.
Wow.
Now you got a mess clean up, fucking dumb fucking cunt. Yeah, have fun cleaning up your mess. We like making a mess for you fuckers.
Wow. Oh, there's like washers and dryers. Oh, this is a big fuck here.
You know better. Cause you fucking have yourself in a fucking sling, dumb fuck. Just like he already has himself in a fucking sling.
Holy shit.
Wow.
You better figure out what the fuck you are doing with that dumb fucking cunt like him that's a loose cannon that fucking pissed off his
He's a loose cannon?
Cause he started. Yeah, you can laugh all you want. But you remember, you started your shit.
I talked to you, but there's no point.
No, you profanity. You said fuck you, cunt.
Hell, that's just
You
you.
said fuck you.
She's a loose
Don't
AK-47.
fucking try to get laid. You fucking fat. You probably can't even get the damn thing off. Because you're too fat to get in the woman's vagina. You fucking cunt. You are a fucking cunt, just like you are a fucking cunt. You guys don't deserve a woman at all. Because, yeah, thanks. You're lucky if you have a woman. Because you guys are both dumb cunts. Well, fuck you. Okay. Because you don't do nothing for her because you're too fat to do anything for her.
God damn.
You can't please a fucking woman if you tried. And you might be married, but that doesn't mean you're a good dad.
First of all, people in London are like, yeah, I think don't think you should say the C word so much.
Yeah.
And like, this must be a small town. They all know shit about each other. Like, doesn't she say he's married with children?
I think she just assumed, like, she saw he had a wedding band. And,
okay.
like, she's putting it together. But, I mean, I don't know. Doesn't part of you two just wish that the big guy would just pick her up and throttle her and just, I don't know, just...
It would be a nice ending.
It'd be fun to see.
I need closure.
Or see
you
police
know?
come in and they just take a baton out and they're just like, wham! You know, just crack her knee. Jesus Christ.
It would be nice. You can't have everything.
You can't have everything
you know?
in this world. No.
This is nice enough.
God damn, that was wild, man. Yeah.
Fucking dumbass.
And then she's just going to go about her day. Like,
Yeah.
go home and make a cup of noodles.
I think the police will be outside. I wish
Yeah.
there's like, you know, we had that part where they're like, are you?
Right, yeah.
And then her story is, he was a dick. They're like, oh. That's why you just trashed this store.
And the sad thing is, it looks like she's the only customer. Like,
It does.
you know?
Well, I think most of them probably went running out of there.
Probably.
Yeah. That's, man, I wish there was more to this.
I gotta know. I gotta know.
Here's another This is a different type of confrontation, but one that I really, really enjoy. Elton John.
All right, we'll start this again. Okay. I'm just talking to my monitor guy. Can you get the balance right between the piano and everything else, for fuck's sake? Fucking idiot.
You know what? I only... The best thing about this, I only know this now after touring
Yes!
so much, is that in the world of touring, you either are somebody that has local help. In other words, you show up to a city and they're like, here are the guys doing things for you today. Or if you're a major act, as Elton John is, you bring your whole crew with you to every show.
Right.
So he is talking to somebody that he knows very well.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a guy who's just like there trying to get it done.
Right.
This is fucking Gary. You know? And he's like, you fucking idiot fuck. I'm Elton John. We go over this all the time.
You're getting paid far too much.
Yeah.
And you don't know what
And
to
he
do.
loses his shit on people.
As he should.
Yeah, it's great.
As he should. There's
great.
nothing more frustrating, and I'm going to take the bully side on this one.
Yeah, that's
There's
great.
nothing more frustrating than when
Yeah.
you're trying to do something
He's trying to
on
put on-
stage and people are like kind of working against you in a way.
He just did a concert or a tour that grossed over $300 million.
That's wonderful.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, he's been in the game a long time. He's got
Yeah.
1 million hit songs.
I always think it's cool when somebody who is like in their 70s is still that type of draw. I think
oh,
that's
dude.
rad.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And his hair just keeps getting better and better.
Better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's probably sassier and sassier every fucking time he does a show. I love it.
I love his clothes. I love Elton John. I don't listen to him, but I love his style.
Oh, yeah.
And when it comes on the radio, I ain't changing it. Let's
No,
face
of
it. Come
course,
on.
man. It's the hits.
Yeah.
The guy's amazing.
Yeah.
He's absolutely amazing. You know, I was thinking back to, because I have known you for 20 years, basically. I mean, I moved to LA in 2002. I started doing stand-up later that year.
Yeah.
And I was, meeting people like you, Christina, Sickler, all within 12 months of that, I had met you guys.
Yeah. And I got to see Tom Segura go up right after he started.
Yeah.
And dude, you already had it.
No.
You already had jokes. You already knew how to get the laugh.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I was like, oh my God. Because I had been doing it since 98.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, this guy just picks it up. I said that to myself.
Really?
Whether you want to hear it or not.
Well, thanks. I mean, it's so nerve-wracking. When you think back, you can still feel the nerves.
Oh yeah.
Of trying to do that.
Yeah.
Of trying to do that, but I mean, we worked together even at one point.
Oh yeah. I worked for you.
Yeah.
So I remember going to a 4th of July barbecue.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey man, I can get you that job. I can get you a job. I heard you're looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Sickler probably told you. He must have.
Yeah, he probably did.
And I was like, awesome. Because I had gone through this, and Christina's even involved in this story too, weirdly enough. Because I'd gone through this whole thing. It was my first show business disappointment. I was pitching a sitcom. I had Castle Rock behind me. We were going to major places like ABC Family and Fox and pitching this sitcom. And I had got it in my head that I was going to be this big sitcom star.
Sure.
And then, and they were like, but don't quit your job. Don't quit your job. But they wouldn't send me on the road or anything. They were just like taking a chance on me, but not investing that much.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I didn't get the sitcom, I was still stuck at this job. Then Christina gave me a job doing one project, working for a cartoon company that she
was working with
for.
a lot, yeah.
And I paid $1,000. And I go, you know what? I'm quitting my job. I'm going to write something so good that I'm going to get hired there.
Yeah.
And they didn't like it at all. I thought it was the shit. I thought it was so great.
Of course.
It was about Warren Buffett. I had Warren Buffett like 360 dunking a basketball in slow motion.
Yeah.
And then it said Air Buffett.
Yeah.
That was just like one part of it.
Sure.
Like I thought I was.
You're like, this is it.
I thought I was killing it. And, I didn't get that job either. So now I'm just rolling with it, like trying to find a job. And you gave me a job.
Yeah.
But I was also joined a band. Like I'm turning 30.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I had played it all by the book. Like I had a job while I was trying to make it.
Sure.
And I took care of all my responsibilities. And I felt like I saw people who were just idiots and degenerates and practically homeless succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very abstract idea. So I just like leaned into everything. Alcohol, fucking not getting paid, the whole decided I was gonna be a loser.
Yeah.
And I joined a band, that's part of it. I played bass, that's part of it. No offense to the bass players, but it's a pretty easy gig.
Yeah.
I'm not yelling at the sound guy. I'm just happy to be here. Can you even hear me? And since I was a comedian, so what we were doing was what I was doing, you were already up, you already had a higher position in the company. Mm-hmm. And it was a reality show, and we would log videotapes of a reality show and make notes. So
it's tedious.
So the editors.
Right.
And
it's called transcribing or logging.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was a ripoff of The Apprentice.
That's right.
Where you find out the guy wasn't actually a millionaire, which is kind of.
Yeah. It was called My Big Fat Obnoxious Boss.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right. And,
right.
And what he's saying, that, by the way, is when you shoot reality shows, cameras run 24/7. Mm-hmm. And so those tapes come into the production house.
Right.
And the reason they need to be logged and transcribed is so that the story team can manufacture it, can piece together a story.
Right.
Right. So you have to transcribe everything. Single thing, even expressions, so that could be manipulated too. So that if they go, we want, Tom to look, upset at this beat.
Yeah.
When I go like, then they go, Tom was upset at this time code. And then that's logged. And then if I go, I don't know, man, I don't want to go there. And I'm talking about for lunch.
Yeah.
They can use, I don't want to go there to mean on the date with the girl. You know, it's like, so you log absolutely everything. And it takes a team of people to do that, who are doing it day and night. It is actually running. It's a 24/7 operation.
Yeah, right. And so I'm also like, I kept asking for things I didn't think I was going to get.
Yeah.
Because deep down somewhere, I didn't want to go back to work.
Of course.
So I'm like, well, I'm in a band.
Yeah.
We're getting good enough to start playing shows.
Yeah.
And I'm also a comedian. And so I have to do that at night. So how about I work from like midnight to like 9 a.m.? And you're like, I don't know, man. Let me check. And you came back, you're like, yeah, they're cool with it. And I was like, oh, wow. Oh, well, I'm going to England, though, for a vacation. My cousin's getting married. Can I have off for a week? It was only like a 2-month job.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know, dude. Let me check. You're like, yeah, you got it. I'm like, fuck. Guess I'm going to work, right? So I start logging these tapes, and it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking exhausted because my rookie mind thought that if I just slept during the day and worked at night, everything would be cool. But what I didn't realize is like working nights, you can't really sleep during the day. You can try, but it's very difficult.
So bad for your body,
And
man.
so I was just going a little nuts. And I remember I really liked this girl at the time, and I asked her out, and she was like, yeah, well, I'm going to Comic-Con, but when we come back, let's like go out. And I was like, awesome. Because, you know, people with their Comic-Con, they go for like a week or something. And it was my 30th birthday. I remember I got in a car accident on the way to work, still made it to work, worked that night, woke up in the morning. Then I had a birthday party at a bar, and I'm drinking. And my roommate shows up with that girl, and I find out that like he's hooking up with her, and they're like together now. And I'm so fucking pissed off. It was also my birthday, so my cousin happened to be in town, and she took me out to dinner that night before I went into work at the video vlogging thing. And we're drinking and everything because I'm just stupid at this time.
Sure.
And I think alcohol doesn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Irish. What's the big deal?
Sure.
I'll drink and then I'll go into work for 9 hours overnight. And I'm telling her about that, and she's my cousin. So, of course, she's taking my side on everything. And she's getting me all worked up. Like, this dude fucking cheated you. You know, he's a dick, blah, blah, blah. And I'm all pissed off, drunk. I go into work. And then at like 4:30 in the morning, I just go, fuck this. I'm not doing this job anymore. And obviously nobody's there.
Yeah.
So I just fire off this email to you. That's like, hey, man, it wasn't even much better than that.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, man, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this job anymore. And I walked out, and it was awesome. It was like Santa Monica Boulevard.
Yeah.
I just walked out. Nobody was out there. I went to my car at one of the only places that was legal to park. I got in there and I drove home at like 4:30 in the morning. And then the fucked up part was I got home and I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
So I should have just stayed at the job.
Yeah.
And then I went on. I was like, but I still called up and was like, yo, let me get that paycheck. And I walked in there with no shame at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Tom, what's up? What about that paycheck? And you're like, yeah, cool. Here's a paycheck. Oh, let's talk to you outside for a second. You know, and you lit up a cigarette.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, but you're like always so mature. And I'm like just getting mature like in the past 7 years.
Uh-huh.
And you light up your cigarette and you go, I really don't think it was cool the way you quit, how you just like sent off the email and just left, you know, you really left me hanging. And I was like, yeah. And I think I probably tried to explain it or something. And then we both just kind of, it was like really like awkward silence. And then we just looked at each other and I just go, and you started laughing too.
Uh-huh.
And then that was just it. In my mind, you knew what I was laughing at.
Yeah.
I was laughing at, how can I put us in this situation?
Okay, yeah.
How can I like fucking do this? This is a terrible situation I've put us in. Isn't this fucked up? But I know you. You're looking at me like, why is this motherfucker laughing? What did I say that's so fucking funny? Do I have to trash my own workplace now? You know, and it took me like a little bit of time. It actually took me, I was talking to Ryan Sickler about it, to where he was like, yeah, like Tom actually think that's kind of fucked up. And I was like, oh, fuck, it is fucked up.
Yeah.
And then I knew it was fucked up. And then we started like working together as comedians and stuff. And then you thank you from the bottom of my heart. You saw me at my worst employee moment, by the way.
Yeah.
You actually have taken me on the road probably for the past 10 years now. And I can't thank you enough for taking a chance on me. And how much different am I as a comedian?
Well,
like, how much earlier do I show up and stick around and do my time to a T?
You know, I have forgotten so many of those details until you told the story. And then they started to like flash back to me. Like right now, I was like, oh my God. Like where you literally lit the memory back up.
Yeah.
And I do remember that I don't know when exactly. Sometime after you came in and got your check and that whole thing, like a while after that, you actually, I do remember you going, hey, I want to apologize to you for you. Yeah, you came up to me and you're like, I handled that time really, and it might have been like a year or two later.
It was much longer than that.
Yeah,
it was much longer than that.
It was quite a while later. You were like, I really want to apologize for how I did that. And I was like, oh yeah, no, totally, it's okay.
It was one of those things where I was so embarrassed about it,
sure,
that I didn't even want to bring it up to apologize.
Yes,
you know, because I didn't really see you for a while after that, and then we started running into each other.
We
as
had gigs and stuff. Yeah. No, but we've done countless gigs together now. I mean, like so many gigs.
Yeah.
And it's always so fun.
Yeah.
And you are a different type of person on the road than you were at.
It's different when you care about your job.
Yeah, you clearly give a shit about. Stand-up.
Yeah.
I would hire you as a stand-up. I would never hire you as a logger again.
You guys are safe. You guys are all safe.
Yeah. We've had a lot of good times though.
Yeah, shit.
This past tour was, man, you were on the one of the first dates, because I remember we did Hampton Beach, which was at
we did a Southern tour, which is very interesting.
Oh yeah. But I remember we did Hampton Beach in August of 21, which is the first month.
Oh, yes.
That was the first month of the tour. That might have been like the actual, one of the first official first dates.
And that was glorious. And we played, the next night we played that casino. I think it's Mohegan Sun.
Yes.
Okay. And we're backstage.
Right.
There's like 5,000 people in the audience.
Yeah.
And we're behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And you're with the mic and you're like, dude, can you believe
we used to
do open mics together?
Yeah.
And I was this far away from going, can you believe I used to log tapes for you? Yeah. But I kept my fucking mouth shut because you don't want any negativity walking in on that stage.
No, and that was so fun.
Yeah.
And we did a bunch of gigs on this tour. That was was great. That was great.
We did the Baltimore gig where somebody pissed on somebody from the upper tier.
It's one of the
the bottom tier.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've talked about that.
I have talked about this. I've told that story.
Yeah.
I know I've told this. I told it on Rogan. I forget if I told. I think I told it here. I probably told it on Two Bears. The one part of it that I liked, instead of like doing the whole story again, basically an audience member pissed on another audience member to defend me.
In your honor.
In my honor. Because the guy in front, the guy getting pissed on had heckled, and the guy in the back was like, I'm not having that. So he pissed on him in Baltimore. The best part of that was that I didn't know that happened till after the show.
Yeah.
And there was a lot, it was not as casual a story as this. It was chaos.
Right.
Because, you know,
As
when
I like
somebody
to say,
does that, things really do, like somebody pissing on somebody at a theater is a pretty big deal. You know, it's not a Metallica concert. Like it's a comedy show. So
Master!
It's like
Master!
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And what I remember was that you know, I'm hearing the story and multiple people are telling it, and they're like, this is what happened, and then there's staff of that. Then they had gotten police involved because that's considered like an assault. Like it was a whole thing. And one of the guys who did security for the whole tour, named Marcus, when we were getting the full story, he goes, Tom, I got to tell you something, man. I go, what? He goes, I've been in the concert and security business for over 30 years. I've done it for Madonna, Michael Jackson. Like I've done it for, you know, like Lady Gaga, like just like the biggest, and then he's like stadiums, and he's like, I've seen shit on your tour I've never seen in my life, man.
The mom heads are crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
I was like, yeah. And he was like, I've never seen some shit like that in my entire life.
And he toured with Wu-Tang.
Yeah. He's got the best Wu-Tang story.
Yeah.
I can't tell it. I have to get him to tell it. It is the fucking best Wu-Tang story.
It's crazy that your Wu-Tang story isn't the craziest story you know about Wu-Tang.
It's his story.
Yeah.
His story trumps everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking amazing,
Yeah.
man. back in like, so after our logging job,
I call it a fiasco.
Yeah. And then we start doing gigs, and we're social. We see each other at not only out doing gigs, but around LA, and like he's always like, "What's up?" and going on. Will you tell the story? It's one of my favorite dating stories. Ever of what I'm getting to.
Yeah, I do, and it's weird because it's at that time.
It is around
that I
time.
walked out of the job.
Really?
Because like I told you, I'm like I'm gonna go crazy now.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah.
And it started out innocent enough. I'm just realizing the scope of the story.
Yeah.
I did a show at the Comedy Store. It was, oh my God, I remember the date.
Really?
I remember the date. It was August 23rd. It's one of my favorite singers' birthdays.
Wow.
Because
whose birthday?
It's a guy named Julian Casablancas. He sings for the Strokes.
Okay.
So and it's part of the story. Like I do a show at the Comedy Store, and on the way out, this pretty girl is like, "Hey, you were so great." I'm like, "Thanks." And I walked out, and I got in the car, and the radio said it was his birthday, and I'm like, I'm obviously single at this time in my life, the way I'm behaving, and I'm like, you know what, man? You need to go back to that patio, and you need to talk to this girl. I went back, I got her number, I asked her out, and or I asked for her phone number. Yeah, I got the phone number. I went out, I asked her out, and then while I had her on the phone, or she had me on the phone, she like basically interviewed me for like a half an hour, 40 minutes. Was just asking me all these questions to the point where I was getting annoyed. But we set up the date at the beginning of the conversation. So I guess I'm going on this date. So I take her to the Dresden, and because I'm in the movie Swingers.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking. She's not.
It's on Vermont, right? Or is that?
Yeah. It's on Vermont.
Yeah.
And I parked my car someplace where I knew I could walk home because I knew I was going to drink because I'm a nervous guy.
Yeah.
And we had a good time. And then she's like, "Well, hey, let me drive you home." And we walk out, and she's got this huge van because she says she's in a band, right?
Right.
Oh, you're in a band. I'm in a band.
I'm in a band. Yeah.
And we're driving around, and she parks it like nowhere near my apartment, and we just start making out. And she goes, "Hey," but it's Silver Lake, everything's illegal. Every parking spot's illegal.
Sure.
She goes, "Hey, if you find a place to park, I'll fuck you." And I was so drunk. I had so much drunken swagger back in the day. I'm like, I think there's a spot right over there.
Yeah.
Like I was so cool
Super
about it
confident,
because you got to be cool about it.
Totally.
And we got in the back of the van, and she was like, "Do you have?" No, I go, "Do you have a condom?" She's like, "Of course." And she just like whips it on so quickly. And we have sex in the van. And then she drives me home, and she goes, "Thanks for all the sex," or something like that. And I was like, wow, this is what a wild night.
Yeah.
I put that against anything in my life. What a wild night. And then, but of course I'm calling her again.
Yeah.
Well, this is so dumb. I don't know why I did this. I'm like, well, let's like go to this. It was like kind of like an open mic at the fucking Brown Derby. Again, this whole story takes place on the set of Swingers.
Yeah.
The movie from 1997.
Sure.
And I'm doing this open mic there, or maybe it's a book show. Bronger's there, Kanane's there. And I brought her there. Again, that's like a rookie move to bring a girl to an open mic.
Yeah. That can go really.
But anyway, she was actually really cool. She's like, "I'm going to sit here. I'm going to let you do your thing." She wasn't trying to like get my attention during the whole thing. But part of the time when we were waiting, we were hanging out outside, and she goes, "Yeah, I was just in France." And I was like, "What were you doing in France?" She's like, "Oh, I was working." I was like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And she points at her shirt, which I didn't notice, and it says hooker. Really? She's like, "Yeah." And I'm like sweating bullets.
Yeah, you're like.
Because even though I've decided to be a degenerate, to be a loser, banging a prostitute was not on the fucking list.
Sure.
There was a little pride. I got a pro bono.
Yeah.
But.
That's what I loved about the story when you told me, is you're like, this hooker was like, "I tossed you one. I like you."
Yeah. I threw you a freebie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like first one's free. It was like second one's free too.
Yeah. You and me are something else.
Yeah.
Those other guys, they pay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny that I was still nervous going up to do the comedy because God damn it.
Yeah.
How fucking cool am I?
Yeah.
My in-laws are listening to this going, not very,
Not
asshole.
very cool.
And then I was scared.
Sure.
But I was still on a date and really didn't know how to
With a prostitute.
I really, at that time in my life,
Yeah. You're on a date with a
and
prostitute.
I took her to an open mic. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Like this woman gets flown to France.
Yeah.
And we went back I didn't know how to be like, I'm a little uncomfortable. So I just like went through with it. And then there's also the other half of you that was like, yeah, I mean, this makes it even more fun in a way. It's also like terrifying.
Sure.
The fact that she's all about condoms is fantastic.
That's good. Yeah.
And then it's like, business as usual. We fool around.
Uh-huh.
And this is also at a time when I didn't even like change my sheets for like a year and a half.
Sure.
Like I was crazy. Like I didn't think I was crazy.
Yeah.
But I was crazy.
Yeah.
And then she left. She never spent the night. I never put that together.
Yeah.
She said it because she needed her bipolar medication. I was like, all right, whatever.
She said that?
You find out the details like in conversation. There's no like I have a confession. And I was simultaneously scared, and I kept calling her because like it was just kind of fun, and I was lonely too, and then casually in another part of conversation, I found out that she had been on. Oh my God, this is so crazy to say because like then people are gonna be able to look up and see who it was.
We can bleep it.
Oh, okay, cool. She was on, and her name was. And she was like a regular personality on there.
Really?
Yeah.
You learned this later.
I learned this the second night. She casually was like, oh, you listen to She's like, I'm actually on that all the time. And like, that was weird too.
That's a shift.
But you have to know it's not as weird as it is nowadays because people weren't on the internet back then.
Right.
Like they are now.
Right.
So like, I didn't go look her up.
Right.
I didn't know to what extent. I just kept listening.
Now,
and I only heard her once more.
When you say that, like she was in France, that to me, like I don't know. My first thought is that this feels like a very high end type, hook, right? Like she
doesn't come off as like a high end escort.
That's what I'm imagining. Like you know what I mean? When you say she was in France, it feels like. I think
this is This is before the model of podcasting and touring. Was go on a radio show, then go be yourself when you're on the road.
I got you.
You don't have to assume that strip mall fucking comedian thing.
How did you? Was that it? Was that last time?
That
you saw
was
her?
it. But honestly, not because of she was the one who was like, yeah, good enough. Like I've got work to do, young man.
Yeah.
And
were you close in age?
I think we were close in age. I think we were about the same age.
Okay.
I think I looked her up 2 months ago when I was on tour with you, and I told one of your tour managers about it, and he was like blown away.
Really?
He was like blown away. He was like, "No way!" And I was like, "Oh, so there's no shame in this story at all."
Is she still alive?
She's still alive, and
Good.
she's like a regular person. So it would actually be kind of cool to like bleep her out.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll take care of all that. Yeah. Wow. Maybe you guys should do a podcast together.
That would be awesome.
That actually kind of would.
Yeah.
Kind of would be cool.
Yeah.
I hope you'll consider it. I'm
listening. I'm thinking
thing
about
is,
it.
like, I hear the story now, obviously, and it's through a different lens. Back when you first told me it, I was almost unable to breathe because you were like, I just fucked a hooker. I didn't even know it was a hooker. Like,
This is when I still work for you.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
You're like, this guy's definitely walking out on me.
You're like, I was just. Well, afterwards, she was like, I got some work to do and fuck guys for money. And you're like, hold on, what about me? No, you're cool. It's fucking crazy.
I'm clocking in.
Yeah.
You're clocking out.
You're clocking out. Oh my God.
Like that cartoon?
Dude, that's the fucking best. That is the best. Man.
Oh yeah. I've lived.
You have definitely lived. That was one of my all-time favorite things. By the way, did you know, as a friend of mine, you you obviously were well aware of how devastating I was injured. Did you know that 2 days from now I will be playing basketball again.
I've been listening to some episodes and you're playing. Didn't you
weatherman.
challenge somebody?
Yeah, the weatherman.
Yes.
He put out a challenge video. Do you have that? Able?
Let me get that prep.
So he accepted the challenge. What I told him, because he said that if he played me basketball, he would destroy me. He's like, it'll be total destruction by me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't look him up to say like, have you played college about anything?
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And I told him that if you beat me 1-on-1,
yeah,
I'll donate $50,000 to a charity of
right.
your choice.
Yeah, I heard that. I've been watching. Yeah.
And so then he put this out.
All right, Segura, I accept your challenge. I'll come to Austin, but you better bring an umbrella because I'm going to make it rain.
He sent you that?
He sent that.
He has an infinite amount of time to put together. Like, is he trying to be funny?
I don't know what he's doing.
Like, the Make It Rain was like decent. It's a little sitcom-y, but it was decent.
And he's wearing, you know.
He looks like he's off to like take the SATs against you.
Is that a Sean Kemp jersey? Isn't that Kemp's number? I forget. But yeah, right? Was that Kemp's number? Was Kemp 40 on the Sonics?
And so, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Are you training for this? Like, how do you feel about this?
No. I'm really just leaving it to chance. Because like my instinct is just to be like, it was. My instinct right away. I just reacted impulsively.
Yes.
When he said that.
Oh, dude.
I was just
when the cameras are on, there's pressure.
Yeah, I was like, "You're fucking dead."
Mm-hmm.
And then you know this thing has like developed, you know. Mm-hmm. And then I realized the other day because basketball is one of those things where like you like all sports, like you know you could be like, hey, you want to go bowling? And I'm like, sure. I'm like, I'll beat you, and you're like, okay. And then I learned that you're like a 6-time champ. You know, you just don't know.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, in basketball, once men are like 30s, 40s, you don't know if somebody was like
especially
all state,
right? Like especially like, and you're like not necessarily good on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's gonna have a lot of wiggle room. Maybe I don't know. I'm speculating.
The fun thing, it's really fun. To throw out a challenge and have no idea what you're getting into.
Yeah. This has become your life.
And like the thing is that like in that video, you go, is he sandbagging? Like, is he pretending that like,
right.
You know, you could go, cause that's a funny thing to do. Be like, I don't even know how to dribble. You know,
I could see that.
Like that would be extremely clever and very funny if he's like, I can't spin this. And then we show up on the day of the game and he's just dropping.
I could see it. I could see the way he's like definitely keeping the glasses on. He definitely fucking up that basketball almost on purpose.
Yeah,
it looks like
he's definitely 100 pounds lighter than me. I'll tell you that.
He looks super thin with the 2 shirts on. He doesn't fill either of them out.
Nope.
And he's got another take in him.
Yeah.
So if I feel like I would like at least go shoot some hoops if you care.
Yeah, well, no, that's.
I think he might have some skills, maybe.
I think you might be right. Yeah. I mean, I am gonna body check the shit out of him.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
You know,
like, and if he starts embarrassing me, I'll break one of his ribs.
Good.
I fucking will.
Good. And then you can help him through it. You'll be like, I've been through this before. I'm gonna call you an ambulance.
I'll be like,
you're gonna make a T-shirt out of this. It's gonna be great. Don't worry. You'll be a national weatherman in no time.
I have a great PT. She's amazing. I'll take care of the bill.
Yep.
Yeah. Fucking A, man. Motherfucker.
I'm interested. I want to see this.
Oh, now I'm excited. I'm excited to know what the hell I signed up for, you know, because I really don't know.
Yeah.
By the way, because, you know, we're here talking about all your marriage or getting married and dealing with the family and the Catholicism. Sometimes it's just good to get another perspective, I feel like, you know?
Yeah.
And so if you want to hear another guy's perspective.
Yes.
Went to marriage counseling, back when I was married. And, my wife just thought I was a complete asshole. She didn't understand, going out and having a drink with your buddies. She didn't understand that I didn't want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. She didn't understand that I didn't want to be under control. So, I was an asshole, right? Of course, it couldn't have been her, right? So we go to counseling. And she's just railing me, just telling me how I'm just a no-good son of a bitch across the board, calling me everything but white, right? And so I just, without hesitation, just said, and then some, and then some. She's like, you're such an asshole. And I was just like, and then some. Kept on going on. She'd rail me for another 30 seconds about how I'm this, that, and the other. I just said, yeah. The counselor told her that I was obstinate and that counseling was futile and it wasn't going to go anywhere. Man, that counselor was right.
There you go.
I mean,
Pretty cool.
I could see it not going well.
Yeah, not with him. That guy. By the way, how dark is his hair?
His hair is fucking amazing, and he's got another marriage in him.
Yeah, he does.
Like, he's
First
got,
of all, his hair is stunning.
Yes.
But it's also, is that like, that's the natural color? That dude's hair is that black? Is that wild?
I don't know if it is, but either way, he's set.
Yeah, the beard's
he's
crazy.
He's set for at least 20 years.
Yeah.
Before it even starts.
Right.
To go, which it probably won't. That's why the guy's so confident.
He's super confident. Yeah, I feel like that's a nice yard. He's smoking his stogie. He couldn't be happier.
But it's not the best way to, it is not the best way. The best way is to put up a still photograph of yourself.
Yeah.
If I was this guy. This whole basically bitching about wives.
Yeah.
It's not going to get you that far, I don't think.
No.
It'll get you somebody, but it ain't going to get you the right type of people. Listen to the guy with the past story. The right kind of people.
This guy has the feel that he puts out stuff all the time. That's my guess, right?
Yeah.
Does he put out shit all the time?
Yeah, a lot of motivational stuff. His name's Chad Peterson.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna
Motivational stuff.
Uh-huh.
What kind of motivation is it?
Don't take shit.
Just living your best life.
Oh, yeah.
Don't take shit from your wife.
Hey, stupid broad keeps fucking yapping in your ear.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see
Oh,
that.
I could see him
Yeah.
leading the fucking cause on
Yeah.
that. Yeah, shit.
I mean, he's good at it.
He's really
You know,
good.
you almost believe it for a second. And then
Yeah.
you're like, nah, I'm too old to think like that.
Yeah, this dude, he fucking nailed it, man.
Yeah.
Don't listen to that stupid bitch. You know?
Every time I'm on here, there's one of these guys.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
We try to find them.
Yeah.
We try hard. And then sometimes we find guys like this.
This is the kitchen video that Mrs. Madeline wants me to make. I have to tell everybody in the house that I'm a sissy slut. And here's my kitchen. I'm going to have to make more of these because she wants one in all of the different houses. She has me on this diet, got me down from 50 pounds to shape me the way she wants. And now I exist just to meet her whims. So I'm going to be a sissy slut. And that's what everybody in this house needs to know, that I'm going to be a sissy slut.
Oh my God. Wow. I can't, my therapist never asked me to do that. That's wild, man. Like,
I've never seen that. It's very cool. Oh, wow.
I have to learn how to suck cock and be able to deep throat it with a smile on my face so that she's happy and to let everybody know that I'm available for them. Anyways, this is the first video. Bye.
He's going to do one of these in every room. That's what I'm understanding. He's like, here's the kitchen. Up next, the dining room.
oh my God.
Wow. By the way, when he said I have to learn how to suck cock and deep throat it, you did it pretty well if that was the first time.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
That's all I could say is wow.
Wow.
Dude's good at it.
He does, yeah.
Let's give him some compliments.
You were really, really impressive. And the bra looks nice too.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for what it is, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you're pretty good at this.
God, it would just be so tough if you like knew him
I know.
or something. I don't want to put shame on this,
No,
but
I
it would be
know.
hard for me to wrap my head around.
I know.
You know?
You're like, is that Ron?
Yeah. It's like he's into it. It's just
Yeah.
the fucking internet is a dangerous place.
The
It's
most,
dangerous.
I
It's
know.
just up there.
Because this guy has a different reputation with so many people.
Yeah, he's
you
the
know?
boss somewhere.
Somebody, there's like a decent probability that somebody just watched this right now and just went, oh my God. That's,
There's somebody.
that is.
There's an employee. There's a family member.
My 401k is with this guy. Like they're just like, oh fuck.
I would do a little more sit-ups first, but other than that,
but I think
no
he
notes.
just dropped 50. So isn't that what he said? Like I just down 50. Yeah, he dropped 50 pounds.
I thought you said he was 50. I was like, God damn.
He's just like the weight is coming off. You
Yeah.
know, like that's. I mean, here I'll
All
say
right.
this: you look great.
Congratulations.
You know,
Congratulations.
yeah, you look great.
I would say, I don't know, go to the pool this summer. Something like that.
Yeah,
Show off your bod at the beach.
do that, and also keep deep throating. You seem to really have a knack for
He's
it.
gonna make friends.
Yeah.
In some places.
Somebody's just gonna be like, this is my guy.
He's gonna find love. He is. He's not scared to put it out there.
No, he's definitely not. And well, it all depends if the mistress is going to let him find love,
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
thank God I never fell for that one.
Oh my God. I don't know. This, I mean, I understand that this does something for somebody.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh man, like the idea of doing this would never do something for me, you know?
It's hard enough to do it.
Even like I'm saying like, forget the dick part, the dildo. I'm just saying that like my mistress said to stand here and in my bra and pants. I'm like, fuck, man.
I feel like
but that's a thrill to him.
I know.
Yeah.
I've always like, as you get older, as you find out more shit, you get more open-minded to what people are into.
Absolutely.
But this one I can't wrap my head around.
Yeah, that one is just, I don't know. Man. Yeah, sure. Look at his question.
And it's not something you could even try. Like, oh, I'm going to try this.
Hey, Nadav wants to know, what weird things make you come?
Oh, regular, boring ass shit.
Yeah.
the three hits.
But like you're going to share the darkest thing that you like.
Nah, that's my business.
Of course.
Even though it's so vanilla and so boring, it's still my fucking business.
Of course. What about you, Nadav?
Yeah.
I mean, the weirdest stuff?
Sure.
There was one time where I accidentally stumbled upon a video of just like really tall women doing crazy shit to dudes they found in the woods.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was the weirdest cum I ever had.
Is it pitched as they naturally find them in the woods?
They what?
Is it like we really found these guys in the woods, or is it like play acting?
No, it was play acting where
Okay.
they're just like, we're a lost tribe type shit.
Amazon shit? Was
Yeah.
That's interesting though. I like that.
I like tall women. I think they're actually super attractive.
Yeah. That's not that crazy.
That's not that
Yeah.
crazy.
All right, Tom, you go.
Amazon women in the forest.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Not the real answer, but pretty good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the weirdest thing. I don't know. I mean...
Well, you're known to eat ass. That's not weird, but
Yeah.
that's the extra mile.
That what?
Eat ass.
Oh, yeah.
That's not on everybody's menu,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
but it's not. It's also not that crazy.
It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
And it used to be crazier, I
Right,
think.
right.
I think now it's like completely... I think the youth today is like, isn't that what you do when you meet a girl? Like
That's what sucks for me. I'm at the age where like I was so brave because I did cunnilingus.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I was brave enough to do that, they were like, "Oh no, the thing now is eating the ass."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "But I trained. It's like
I trained somewhere else."
It's like you started a video duplication business, and then live streaming takes off.
Yeah.
You're like, I just bought the fucking building.
I'm just
I just signed a lease.
I know.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Eating asses. Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Mm.
You've always credited it to like this will secure a second date or a third date or whatever.
The
In
thing
your
is,
comedy
I want
anyway.
to be clear that like
Yeah.
I did not eat everyone's ass that I
Okay.
went out with. That
Right.
is insane.
Right.
To me, it was always a thing. Well, I did do it very young.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did it, but I did it. And then it was something you only did to somebody that you were trying to express that you're so turned on by.
And you're so down for whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
but
here.
like I could sleep with someone who I'd be like, I'm definitely not doing that
Right.
to them. You know what I mean? Like, cause
not
like,
at the end of the day.
and not even out of the shower. If
Yeah.
I don't find them like
Right.
that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That like I have to be really attracted
Mm-hmm.
to do that. That
Yeah.
was the thing.
Well, good for you. I think it worked out for you.
Yeah. I'm not just doing that to some fucking,
Right. Because we know somebody who openly is like, yeah, first thing, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's my move. That's my opening move.
You're crazy. You're a fucking crazy person.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It doesn't matter. I can tell you afterwards. But we know him and we've known him for years, decades. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Say it. We'll bleep it.
And for, now that I'm saying the name, forgive me if I'm a little off.
Yeah.
But I'm under the impression that like that's my shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. But see, there's something special. There's something about it that's no longer special if that's your opening move with everybody. You kind of want it. You want to reserve some things for like,
right.
You know.
I sat down on a podcast one time. It was like Redman, Tripoli, and 3 other young women. And they were all talking about like, you have to eat ass or you're a fucking loser. And I pretty much just got up and walked out. I'm not going to argue my case.
Sure.
So I'm just out of this conversation. I can't argue with what you guys are saying.
And they were all saying this?
Everybody was saying it.
That's funny.
It was a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
People say so many things on a podcast that they'll never say in real life, including myself.
Yeah, no, there's things I'll never say.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking hilarious. What about the rest of you guys? What makes you come?
Come on.
Oh, sorry, I'm working on some audio stuff back
Oh,
here.
okay.
I could take over for you, Chad.
I like normal stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard enough to get normal stuff.
Wait, what'd you say, waterboarding?
Yeah, waterboarding's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have anywhere to go with that. I just think it's pretty dope.
I did ask a girl one time to really go hard on the racial slurs on me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever come harder.
Like specific to you or just
No,
Okay.
just any of them.
Yeah, any. Yeah. Just the list.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's bold.
Yeah. I like that a lot. Yeah.
I've never been called anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to ask for it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else that's strange. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying like weird videos you've watched. I've watched too many videos to. Yeah, I've worked. Are you being serious?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, there was once or twice where I was with a lady. I was like, "Call me a dumb fucking Jew."
Dude.
Wow.
I got to tell you something. That works for me. Like, I really feel like if a woman did that to me, I would be really excited. I get it.
Yeah. I took it to a scary place. It was a one and done thing. I'm like,
But you liked it.
No, it was very cool. Happened. Just.
He doesn't want to come that quick again.
That's hilarious. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. You going to try any of this at home?
Yeah. I can't wait to break the news to my wife.
Hey, when I get home,
Yeah.
just be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. To call me the dumbest fucking.
What happened in Austin?
She wouldn't do that to you.
No,
No.
she won't even know if she
No.
wouldn't. She's the type of person who would just never do that.
But I love you.
Yeah.
You're like, no, but I'm a dumb.
We have to get a divorce.
Yeah. That's.
It's written in a document why I'm breaking up with her.
Oh my God. Ah, Jesus. All right. Well, look, I gotta actually get home to pack for something.
All good.
Some travel.
All good.
It's always good to see you, man.
Man, it's always so great.
What a
I had so much
full
fun.
circle we've had from
It's crazy.
logging at Rocket Science. That was the name of the place.
Yes.
To touring multiple fucking crazy places together, and now we're podcasting.
We beat the pandemic
Yeah.
to Australia and back.
Yeah.
By like 2 months. Like people are already talking about it when we were there.
Jesus, you're right.
Because
Dude, I forgot that we did that last.
yeah, so we did it January 2020, and it's a lot closer to Asia or
Yeah.
yeah, Australia is its
Yeah,
own
yeah.
continent. I didn't want to look stupid.
Yeah.
But they were talking about it because it was close. And then my dumb American mind was like, thank God it's never coming to my country.
Yeah.
And I just remember being in the international terminal at LAX with the entire world, because you have to show your passport proof, a little receipt that you get through customs to somebody at the door. And there was only 2 people checking at the door. And we were just in there with the entire world.
Yeah.
Like just mixing it up, dude. Just being part of it.
Yeah, we
It's
brought
crazy.
it back. We were bringing it back.
We were
for
part
people.
of the bringer backers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You're welcome, America.
COVID was over there, and they were like, Tom, Matt, bring this shit back, man. Yeah.
Shut down comedy.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What a fucking.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. All right, man. Don't forget, check out The Power of How.
The Power of How. It's about trying to find a way to think positive, which obviously I've had to do.
You really
over
do.
all these stories
Yeah.
and everything. It's still fun. We still bitch about shit.
Yeah.
And we're still vulgar idiots. But then we go, well, how can we look at this positively?
I like that.
I think people will like it.
That's a nice
Yeah.
take on things.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. Love
Good
you.
to see you.
Talk
Love
to you guys.
you.
See you guys
Thank you.
next week.
All right.
Motherfucker. Fuck all you motherfuckers and you assholes. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Fuck all you motherfuckers and you assholes. Motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. Come on, let's get it on. Scum-sucking dogs. Scum-sucking dogs. Come on, you dogs. Scum-sucking dogs.
That made you feel bad.
Yep.
Not the fucking, that's my pee hole. It's where the spit comes out of, Mark.
Nope.
That doesn't freak you out?
This does.
This does.
Yes.
Wow.
Dance for you. Dance for you. Yeah, come on. And give me a hand job too. Do a dance for you. 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 Yeah, come on. And give me a hand job too. Do a dance for you. Dance for you. Dance for you. Dance for you.
Hey, you just watched a full episode of Your Mom's House. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, watch another one. Maybe you'll like that one. They're everywhere. Look, I don't know. They place them in like cubes, squares, whatever it is. Just click another one. Maybe you'll find someone you like or someone will get hurt.